Good afternoon. Welcome to the March 18th meeting of the Revenue Subcommittee. We have three bills on our agenda for today: HB 139, HB 547, and HB 898. We're going to take those in reverse chronological order. So starting with HB 898, this is the administration's Decade Act. There are very substantive amendments. I'm going to go through kind of a high order summary. And then we will take questions. And we do have several representatives on the call today who are from the Department of Commerce and who can also help answer questions should they arise. So this administration bill alters, enhances, and transfers various economic development programs and tax credits. The amendments do the following: alter certain reporting requirements regarding various economic development programs and tax credits. Increase from 21 days to 30 days the period of time for which the Legislative Policy Committee has to review and comment on certain information provided by the Department of Commerce before funds from the Strategic Closing Fund may be loaned, granted, or invested. Requires a letter from a governing body of a local jurisdiction to request financial assistance from the Maryland Economic Development Assistance Fund, MEDAF, to include the signatures of a majority of the members of the governing body, and altering certain provisions authorizing Commerce or the Maryland Economic Development Assistance Authority to require a certain guarantee or match of funds. Alters certain provisions authorizing Commerce to contract with a private Maryland corporation to administer some or all of the programs under the Maryland Small Business Financing Authority and increase the maximum authorized amount of equity participation financing in an enterprise. Maintain the period of time for which a RISE zone may be renewed, and alter eligibility for rental assistance under the RISE zone program and certain reporting requirements for the program. Strikes an alteration to the calculation of the biotechnology investment incentive tax credit for certain investments in companies located in a RISE zone or specified counties, and requiring a method of electronic filing for the credit. Specifies the purpose of the film production tax credit and increases for certain fiscal years the limit on tax credits that may be approved for a single film production activity, rather than repeals the limit. Strikes provisions expanding eligibility for an enhanced property tax credit under the Enterprise Zone program. Requires the comptroller to report on its ability to track the carry forward of specified tax credits, and requires the Department of Commerce to submit certain reports regarding the utilization and effectiveness of certain tax credits and financial assistance programs. So that's the end of the formal summary. I'll just say for framing, that sounds like a lot. It's a very long bill. We actually are, all the programs that were in the bill that came in, with the exception of the Enhanced Enterprise Zone program, are still in the bill. Really, the changes that are being made are in terms of a few technical details on a few of the programs, and a variety of reporting requirements being added. But happy to dig into questions. We will start with Delegate Buckle.
Thank you, Madam Chair. About the BITSI, the biotech, I always screw up the acronyms. You had talked about striking some of the bill's enhanced incentives that would apply to application to the credit within RISE zones and the qualified counties. I think the qualified counties, I think that was a bill, frankly, that I did 5, 6, 7 years ago. Is it my understanding that the department in the original bill wanted to even increase the enhancement for those counties, so there would be more incentivization for them as opposed to, every other county? What the committee's proposed amendments does is it doesn't roll those counties back to par. So it doesn't, let's say, put Allegheny County at par with application of the credit for Frederick, but it leaves the enhanced incentivization at what it was last year, what it was under my original bill. Is that accurate?
Yes, and just for everyone else's clarification, that's exactly right. Under current law, there are two tiers to the BITSI credit. There's a kind of a basic credit that is 33% of the investment, and then for Allegheny, Dorchester, Garrett, and Somerset counties, it's currently 50%, a 50% credit. So the bill as it came in would have increased that to 75%. Now, that wasn't just specific to those four counties. It was for those four counties as well as for businesses located in a rise zone. So we are striking, we're the 75%, we're keeping it at the 50% enhanced credit, but we are allowing for a larger overall investment cap. Currently is $500,000 under the amendments, and under the bill as introduced, that's $750,000.
So the investment cap where the credit applies to the investment does go up for those four economically underdeveloped counties. But the credit that's fine. I mean, obviously, I prefer to join with the department and say keep that as high as possible at the incentivization rate. But if that's the committee's compromise with respect to how to get those investments into those counties, and it sort of saves some money on the back end of application of the bill, I can certainly support those.
Thank you.
And
Thank
then
you.
the only other question I had, excuse me, the film tax credit, we're not changing the amount. It's now capped at 12. Is that correct? 12 million a year?
That's right. The annual new certificates, it's 12 million a year. What we are changing is the per production limit. So they're kind of right now is a two-tiered cap. It is currently capped under current law at a production can't get more than $10 million in credits. The bills introduced would have been unlimited. We are instead going to a $30 million per production cap.
And that 30 million obviously is over the life of the production.
And I'll defer to our folks from Commerce if they want to weigh in on that. I think maybe particularly like we could dig into is that if it's like a, say, a TV show, is that over multiple seasons or is that per year?
And I don't know if they'd enjoy. That was my confusion is if it's a $12 million cap, I know that there's some money left in the program because the credits roll over. But if we gave $30 million to one production in 1 year, that was my only issue with film tax credits all along is we seem to just give them all to one movie or one HBO show that was on for 6 weeks, whatever it was. And then we were bled out of the credit and then no one came for another 2 or 3 years. And that was my only issue is if we're going to give up to 30 million per production, is that a one shot in 1 year and then the fund is gone, or is that spaced out within the $12 million cap and the accumulated cap funds now?
And I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Bridges, if you'd
Tony
like to weigh in, go
Bridges
ahead.
from the governor's office,
That's
and I'll
not
defer to
Tony Bridges,
Commerce.
Frostburg State graduate and former member of the House of Delegates, is it?
That is one and the same, sir. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Good. Hey, I'll defer to Commerce, but I believe that the way that it works is yes, or to George. I believe that the way that it works is yes, the credit does uh, roll over. However, it's for the span of the production. And if I'm mistaken, Commerce or George, please correct me, but I believe that's the way that the program is designed to work.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
April.
Ms. Doss, please go ahead.
Yeah, so that's correct. It's for the life of the production, and just to speak a little bit more to that cap limit. One of the things that we found in talking with film production companies is that particularly when it comes to series, that $10 million limit is a challenge. So, for example, if there is a film or network producer that is looking at developing a series. They want to shoot a pilot project here in Maryland, and they want to ultimately be able to produce a season of 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 episodes of something. That the existing $10 million per production cap is quite low for them to be able to make that investment. And so we see ourselves losing that business to other states that have higher limits on their film incentive programs. And so that $30 million cap on a per production basis would be particularly beneficial in bringing in those kinds of film activities.
Okay. And if I may, Madam Chair, so then the only question, I think I understand exactly what you're talking about, whether the production on an individual movie, show, series, whether it occurs within 1 year or whether it occurs within 5 years, it's a $30 million aggregate cap to that production.
I believe that is correct, and I will confirm that with our program manager so that we can make sure that you have that accurate information.
Okay, I appreciate the information.
Thank you, Delegate Buckle. Next to Vice Chair Feldmark.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question is really sort of following up on that, just to clarify, if someone comes and shoots a pilot and they can get whatever the max is, currently 10, would be 30 under this amended version. So they shoot the pilot and it doesn't get picked up, right? Let's just say that's one production. If they shoot a pilot and then the show gets picked up and they now have 5 seasons to shoot, does that count as a separate production, or are they now like out of the running because they've already maxed out?
Yeah, if I can, I'm going to reach out to our program director
Okay.
for this program so that we can get you the details on that.
Thank you.
We'll circle right back.
And colleagues, I'll say that when we get that information, we'll make sure that gets out to all of the subcommittee members, just to clarify on both those points.
Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions or clarification? Again, a lot to digest. Okay, not seeing anyone seeking to be recognized, then we would entertain a motion on the amendments. And yeah, I was going to say, Mr. Dudzik, we generally don't call on folks who are in the audience, but if you have a clarification that was pertinent to the points we were just speaking about, you're welcome to weigh in.
Apologies. This was actually related to the electronic filing provision on the BITC, so not specifically on the film production.
Okay. And I'll say that we did strike the electronic filing from the bill, so that is no longer.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That's what I wanted to make sure.
Okay. No problem. All right.
Move the amendments, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Delegate Buckle. Okay. The amendments have been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the amendments?
I intend to vote for the amendments and to move the bill through subcommittee. I would like to hear a little bit more. Ms. Doss, I'm sure will get us the information through her folks. I don't know that it'll change my ultimate outcome on the bill, but I would like to get an understanding with Delegate Feldmark's question of how much money is really going to one. My only concern with it again is I've been 12 years. I've seen all the money went to one thing, and then we didn't have any money in the credit for anything else, and everyone complained about that. So, but I'm happy to second the amendments and move them favorable.
Thank you. And thank you for working with us on this, and appreciate that and understand that we'll keep talking after this too before we get to full committee. Okay, any other further discussion? All right, on the amendments, and members, please be on camera if you wish to be recorded as voting, although we don't record subcommittee votes, but you get my point. Anyways, on the amendments, all those in favor, please say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that was unanimous. The bill has been amended. Is there a motion?
Move favorable.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all those in favor on HB 898 as amended, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that bill comes out unanimously. Thank you, colleagues. Thank you to folks from Commerce for being on the call today to answer questions, and look forward to the information that you'll circle back with. All right, we have 2 other bills for today. We'll start with and Delegate Addison, are you seeking to be recognized? I'm thinking maybe that was a lag from voting a moment ago.
My camera does not work, so I can't get on camera. We've tried everything to try to get the camera working, but we can't.
You can't do it. Okay. Well, I did hear your audible aye before, so we can go with voice votes. Understand the technological problems. Thank you for the clarification. Great. Okay, so we'll move on to HB 139, Sales and Use Tax, Tax-Free Holiday, Veterans Day. The bill, as it came in, establishes Veterans Day, November 11th, as a sales tax-free day for the sale of items to a veteran if the taxable price of the item is less than $2,000. We do have committee amendments which lower the limit on the item from $2,000 to $250. It strikes provisions authorizing the comptroller to suspend the tax holiday, and then also clarifies the language about the IDs and basically what a veteran would need to show in order to be exempt from the sales tax on November 11th.
Sounds fine.
Yes, Delegate Griffith.
I just want to take a moment on behalf of the Veterans Caucus to thank you for moving this bill. This bill was a big priority of our caucus, and as amended even, we're really grateful. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Delegate Griffith. Is there any other discussion or questions? Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion on the
Move
amendment.
favorable. As amended.
On the amendments.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay, the amendments have been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
And that is unanimous. On the bill as amended,
Move favorable.
Second.
HB 139 has been moved and seconded as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
And that is unanimous. All right, last bill for today, colleagues, HB 547, Income Tax Subtraction Modification, Enhanced Agricultural Management Equipment. We also have committee amendments for this bill. The bill as it came in would have allowed the Department of Agriculture, the Secretary of Agriculture, basically to, on an ongoing basis, add additional farm equipment that would be eligible for an income tax subtraction modification. The amendments strike that language and instead require the Secretary of Agriculture to report annually to the General Assembly on any agricultural equipment that the Secretary recommends should qualify for the subtraction. So basically, we would get that information and it would allow opportunity for folks to sponsor a bill should there be need to add additional equipment to the list of equipment that gets this tax break currently. Questions on the amendments?
Move the amendments.
Thank you.
Second.
Okay, any discussion on the amendments? Okay, all those in favor of the amendments to HB 547, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, that's unanimous and on the bill as amended.
Move favorable.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor of HB 547 as amended, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
And that is also unanimous. All right, thank you, colleagues. We will be meeting again tomorrow. Probably won't have a time until, I don't know. We'll see how floor goes tomorrow morning. But stay tuned. We'll meet again tomorrow. We are adjourned for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.